What is going on, y'all? Psych Perspectives, giofvcks here, and I'm going to do a brief live discussing DaBaby and DaniLeigh and their baby mama drama. Now, I want to go on and say this ahead of time. Red flags are hell no's, and oftentimes the red flags are literally blowing in the wind. They're literally smacking you in the face. And if it quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, looks like a duck, then damn it, it's a duck. And when you look at people, and I'm just going to go on and say it, when you look at people like DaBaby, he's had a track record, a history of toxic, dysfunctional, wishy-washy, inconsistent, narcissistic, homophobic, sexist, misogynistic behavior. So it doesn't really make any sense that people are so surprised, okay, when every time a news article, any information that comes out about DaBaby, it rarely has anything to do with his actual music, him being an artist. It's always about how he's treating people like shit. You know, if he's hitting women and pushing and punching on women in the crowd, he's getting in fights with his own fans, he's shooting people and, you know, killing folks, he's getting in fights at the club, his bouncers, his bodyguards are doing something. It's always something negative, you know, so it's not a surprise. And again, the red flags are literally waving in the air. What's going on, Alan Lewis? What's up? Hello, how are you? We're talking about DaBaby, DaniLeigh, and the baby mama, baby daddy drama. And I also want to say this too before we get into this. Thank you to everybody that's tuned in. I appreciate it. I also want to say this. Children, pregnancies, unwanted kids, baby mama, baby daddy, drama, highly avoidable. Doesn't have to take place, doesn't have to happen. There's too many birth control options available out here with condoms, Plan B, spermicide, vasectomies, hysterectomies, IUDs. If you want to do abstinence, there's so many opportunities to avoid all of this. So it's just at this day and age, you literally are picking and choosing your own poison. Okay. And especially when we're talking about who we're talking about, because it's not like DaniLeigh or DaniLeigh doesn't have access to health insurance coverage to get a vasectomy, to get a hysterectomy, to get on birth control, to get on the birth control pill, to pick up Plan B, to get an abortion. I'm just being honest. It isn't like she didn't have access to that. And it isn't like DaBaby also doesn't have access to that. So it's ridiculous. Queen of the South was waiting on you. And Alan Lewis, I feel bad for the child. Agreed. Because at the end of the day, it's the children who ultimately suffer when they have to deal with these dysfunctional ass people as parents. And Queen of the South, exactly. DaBaby, a full-blown narcissist. I agree. The narcissistic behaviors and the actions are clearly there when you see him. Every time you turn around, it's the same toxic, dysfunctional behavior. And I mean, every single time you turn around, it's like I said, the red flags be there, and let's just keep it real. And I hate to, you know, I just calling a spade a spade. This is the typical behavior of a lot of cisgendered men, regardless of their sexuality, regardless of their race and ethnicity, regardless of their education, regardless of their class status, how much money they have. This is toxic masculinity, is narcissistic behavior. It is what it is. We have to stop acting like we don't see this, you know? But let's get into this. DaBaby. This is DaniLeigh's family says he's only around because of DaBaby. DaBaby told his followers that DaniLeigh's mom hasn't met their baby yet. All day long, DaBaby and DaniLeigh have been having a very public back and forth about the status of their relationship after a fight broke out between them last night. Hours after calling the police to his condo, the Charlotte-based rapper has made it clear that he sees his baby mama as a side bitch, but the Easy singer didn't hesitate to pull out an abundance of screenshots that refute his statements. Again, this is what doesn't make sense when it comes to cis men. If the person that you're sleeping with is a side bitch, why would you be ejaculating in the side bitch? Why are you having unprotected sex? How come you never use condoms on your penises? What is that, right? And this is typical narcissistic behavior and deflection and gaslighting and projection. They always try to knock the other person's, self-esteem and basically say that you're trash, you don't mean anything to them, yet clearly you meant enough for them to have unprotected sex with you, right? Very strange, right? And, such and such is easy, yet clearly DaBaby, you're easy because you literally sleep with any and everything. You're literally having unprotected sex numerous times. You already have numerous children. You have kids from other people. This is your track record, right? This is what you do. Okay. After Danny shared her receipts, Baby hopped on his story to give his side. Once again, quote, "If I start posting screenshots, it's going to get bad. I ain't doing that. Just know before I get set up to crash, before I get set up like a rich black crash," quote, the 29-year-old then picked up an imaginary telephone and threw a police officer emoji on the screen to let viewers know he's role-playing a phone call with the authorities. Quote, "Hey, y'all, come get her," he said. He literally made a whole video, and this got reposted on the Shade Room and everything else.
Posted screenshots, it's gonna get bad. I ain't on that. Just know before I get set up to crash, before I get set up like a rich black crash.
And I'm going to say this, I get so tired, and I'm about to go there. I get so tired of cis het black men constantly claiming that people are out to get them when they're out to get themselves. You're the one that keeps having unprotected sex, you dumbass. You're the one that keeps ejaculating and everything. You don't have enough common sense to use condoms. You don't have enough common sense to get a vasectomy. You the one that keep procreating and creating all these unwanted kids with so-called side bitches that you don't really care about, but yet you keep ejaculating in side bitches. Take accountability. Ain't nobody setting anybody up. Ain't no white man out to get you. Ain't no black woman out to get you. It ain't the LGBTQ+. Y'all love to blame us, the alphabet warriors. Ain't nobody got anything to do with your dumb black ass constantly having sex with everybody with no protection, constantly creating baby mamas and unwanted kids. That is completely on you, okay? You need to take responsibility for your black cishet penis. You need to take control of that, okay? Stop trying, and this is another thing that gets me. This is what don't make sense, and I'm about to go there. Why are you always the victim in the story? You are the one creating your own damn problems. And again, like I said at the beginning of this video, unwanted children, baby mama, baby daddies, pregnancies, highly avoidable. Highly avoidable. So, the days of me feeling bad and woe is me, I'm not doing that no more for you dummies. I'm not. Okay, it's ridiculous. If you pay close attention to his music, he's a womanizer. He doesn't like women. Narcissists don't believe in condoms or OBGYNs. Okay, preach. They are walking STDs, literally. And which brings me to this. If you're having unprotected sex and, ejaculating and coming and all of these different people, I'm sure you're spreading sexually transmitted diseases and sexually transmitted infections. Come on, go off. He's self-sabotaging and projecting insecurities on his victims. He picks women that he can manipulate. Take me to your leader said. Yes, exactly. Agreed. And again, back to women, back to feminine people, back to people who have vaginas and ovaries. And I've been saying this for a while. Okay. You have to work on your codependency. You have to work on your self-esteem. You need to establish boundaries because, like you said, they know who to go after. They know who to play these games with. Okay. And it's ridiculous because at the end of the day, you are picking and choosing to be with ain't shit people and then wanting everybody to feel bad for you. And again, he's almost 30 years old. He's 29 years old. Then you got DaniLeigh. These people are grown and they sitting up here arguing, fussing and fighting, sharing screenshots on social media. Okay. And again, this is all about attention. Again, especially when you're dealing with a narcissist. Any attention is good attention for them. They get off on this. He's having a fun, good time. He He doesn't care that people are calling him a hoe or a slut or dumb or ignorant or whatever. It's attention for him. They love good attention, negative attention. It's supply. That's all that matters. He's having a good time. This keeps him in the mainstream media. This keeps him, you know, in the news press. And like Alan Lewis said earlier, what about the baby? What about the child? What about the kid? Right? They just get to, you know, they are going through all of this dysfunction and chaos because of two people who had no business procreating. Okay, I'm just going to say it. All right. DaBaby aside, facts. The issue is self. Work on you. Exactly. Love JJ 1814. Again, we have to work on us as individuals, being accountable, practicing healthy boundaries, knowing our self-worth, getting into therapy and counseling, working on those toxic codependencies, because after a while, red flags should be absolute hell no's. Why would you want to be with somebody that has a history of talking shit about women? And you really thought he was going to treat you better? He already has kids from other women that he's not with them. He's not in a committed relationship with them. Everybody got different mamas. Why would you think that's somebody that you should be trying to be with? I'm just being real. The red flags be smacking you in the face. And y'all, so many of us, because I used to be just as ignorant, just as stupid, out here being dumb. But as you get older, that gets old. That's all I'm going to say on that. Yes, his ego is, but cough, cough. Summer Walker is another prime example. Let's be honest. I'm going to do a video on her too. Another prime example of London on the Track already had multiple baby mamas and he wasn't really taking care of those kids. He didn't want to be there for them. So why would you go and get knocked up by this person? But that's a whole, again, accountability goes a long way and people don't want to take it. They don't want to accept it. You know, y'all speaking truth. Y'all speaking truth. And again, and then what gets me is he shared another video with him and their child, DaniLeigh, him and DaniLeigh's beautiful daughter. He calls out Danny's family for allegedly disowning the baby, which could well be true. I mean, let's be honest, you know, that could be a real situation.
I remember what that would come with it.
But this is what don't make sense. You using the kid as a ploy.
All that boy was hearing was what it was. My baby wouldn't be right here in my arms. Cool.
Beautiful baby. Beautiful baby. But again, narcissist, toxic, dysfunctional, self-centered, emotionally unavailable, manipulative people, they will use the children as a pawn. You know, it's a pawn in a chess game. You know, they don't really care about their kids half the time, but they know, oh, let me make it seem like I'm just this loving parent and I'm here for the baby and I want our family to work. Meanwhile, dragging you for filth, because this is basically a smear campaign. This is what narcissists, toxic people love to do. The smear campaigns, dragging you for filth, bringing you out of character, making you out to be the bad guy or the bad woman or the bad person, and making you seem to be crazy and out of control and unhinged. Meanwhile, he's sitting up there rocking the baby. He looks like the loving, doting father that just wants to be there for his child, doesn't he? Again, you listen, you know, I know. Because I done seen and witnessed and endured some things dealing with narcissistic people. And these are the games that will be played. This is why I be saying, honey, red flags or hell no's. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Okay. And he died, Queen of the South. And he dodged out his other baby mama. What makes you and any different? Karma's a bitch. That's what I'm saying. It's like y'all people will see. You know, he, she, they got multiple kids from multiple different people. Treats women like shit, treats men like shit, homophobic, transphobic, sexist, misogynistic, a track record for sleeping around and playing people and lying. People will see all of this and ignore it. Ignore it and think, oh, he's not going to do that to me. She's not going to do that to me. They're not going to treat me that way. Really? Because the best prediction for future actions is your past behaviors. And if a person has a track record of having a bunch of unwanted kids, baby mama this, baby daddy that, why would you think they're going to treat you any different? Again, red flags are hell no's. Okay? Links and information about this situation is in the description box below. But again, all of this is highly avoidable. And like Alan and so many of you said, hopefully they can come to some type of adult, mature accommodations so they can raise their child. So the child can have, you know, healthy, loving, supportive parents, regardless if they're together or not. The child deserves loving, healthy, supportive parents, right? You know, at least some of us think that. He took her phone and went live. That's ultimate disrespect. Yes, because it's all about a show. It's a whole show. They do this for attention and for show. Okay? You already know. You already know. Pastor Lee. What's going on, Pastor Lee? Just passing through. I hope you're doing well. Oh, you Basti rising. It's literally clear as day. Yes. And as Love JJ 1814 said, when you see red flags and ignore them, that's on you. Delusion can be a bitch. Exactly. Exactly. People be in denial and be delusional as hell and then wondering why they in all of these shitty situations. Alan Lewis, let's not forget the toxic. Okay, I feel the toxic, aka DaBaby, is the same one who assaulted the black woman a while before I forgot her. Exactly. Would he do nudge her because she had touched him or something when he was in the crowd at one of his concerts or something, or at the club when he was walking through? It's always something negative coming out about this person. And you can't keep saying it's the white man, it's the black woman, it's the LGBT. No, it is your black cishet ass being a bigot, toxic, and dysfunctional. Stop trying to be the victim all the damn time. That's another thing that narcissists love to do. They're always conveniently the victim in every situation that they can find themselves in. And it's always somebody else, always pointing the finger at everybody else, but the person who's actually causing the problems. I'm just saying, okay? Oh my goodness. But I'm about to end this. Information will be in the description box below on this situation. But y'all, he was a DaBaby, the toxic, is a walking red flag. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be mean. But when you look at a lot of cisgendered men, especially cisgendered heterosexual men, these are the behaviors of toxic masculinity. And keep in mind, you have cis het women who also participate in toxic masculinity. You have trans men, trans masculine people who also participate in toxic masculinity. Because again, the overarching issue is the toxic masculinity, the sexism, the misogyny, the classism, the homophobia, the transphobia. You know, these are just behaviors, ideologies, and beliefs that so many people abide by and follow. And again, these are the worst types of people to be trying to have any type of relationship with because they simply don't care. They're narcissistic. They're self-centered. Everything is about them. Okay, and if they screw you over, again, DaniLeigh, you was the new supply. She was the new supply at the time, and as usual, they don't use condoms. They're not thinking about birth control. They're not thinking about trying to prevent unwanted kids or spreading STDs, STIs. You're the new supply. He got what he wanted, and again, he knocked you up. This is another thing that a lot of these cis men do. Okay, and narcissistic people do. They will purposely knock you up, get you pregnant, or become impregnated to lock you in. Think about it. He got DaniLeigh for at least 18 years at the bare minimum. So you're going to be sitting up dragging each other for filth on social media and in the news for at least 18 years. He got you. That's why I be saying y'all got to watch out here, okay? Thank you. Take me to the leader. Thank you. The child is a prop. He really wants control over those who are already vulnerable and been mistreated. If he really cared for his baby, he would let Danny heal and get custody to see just the child. Exactly. Narcissism has no boundaries, no matter your sexual orientation or gender. Exactly. I agree. Anyways, I'm about to head out. Thank you all for tuning in and leaving your perspectives and commentary and being engaging. I really appreciate it. And wrap it up. Use birth control, condoms, IUDs, Plan B, hysterectomies, vasectomies, abstinence, the pull-out method. Do something. Do something so you don't become a statistic and be out here trapped by some narcissistic, dysfunctional person that doesn't care about you or the baby. Do something to care about yourself and protect yourself. All right. Thank you all again, and I'm out.